I was reading a book, of all things, by Mao Zedong in about 1976-77, his talks in the Yan'an Forum. And one of the things he said is that culture will change, not in terms of, and revolution will change, not in terms of what is done, but in terms of who, with, by, and for. That's how culture will change. And in this case, he was talking about the arts. And he says the arts will change, not in terms of what is done, but in terms of with whom, by whom, for whom. If we keep playing essentially to the same audiences, we will ultimately make the same theater. So I decided to change audiences. So that was the inception of the Dakota Theater Caravan, was to go to a very rural area where I was from and make a theater that was of, with, by, and for that particular group of people, and not for anything else. And that was a revelation. That was a revelation. What we discovered, I think, as a company, was that by sort of focusing on people in a certain region, the rural, small-town people of the Great Plains, we were able to tell stories that truly mattered to that population. I mean, within 5 minutes of any one of our shows, they knew that we had made connection with them, that we were on their side, that we had great compassion for them, and yet we had a critical sensibility. And I think we were very popular in the Great Plains and in South Dakota. This kind of work is, first of all, I'd say it's just filled with so much wonder, so much terrific connection with people. So the upside is just sort of unending. And with Freire's classic, sort of description of the foundational experience of human being is dialogue. Is dialogue, that's who we are. We are built out of dialogue from the first day. We're built out of it. So that sense that I'm an individual, I created myself, I say, come on, come on. We are created by networks and families and communities and education and experiences. And that's where we're created out of dialogue. So when dialogue stops and is replaced by monologue, monologues are oppressive. And we have big ones. So the process of working in community-based theater is one in which I think we are enlivened by the process of dialoguing with individuals, with their communities, about their life and their background and their hopes and their desires. And in my case, what I want to do as a practitioner, as a joker in Theater of the Oppressed, is to help people create their own theater. This is the real objective. I mean, if there are people like myself who come in with 2 or 3 actors and we make theater for people, that's possible. I think, for conferences and all that, that's a very possible thing to do, and it's not something I avoid. But when you go into a community with the intention of helping people through workshops and through dialogue and community research and people talking to each other, creating theater. In this case, the kind of theater that Boal offers, image theater, forum theater, rainbow desire, legislative theater, which I've done a lot of. Does this process open up not just joyful experiences, but real difficulties? Yes, it does. It really does. ATHE did play a role. In 1991, I came to the Seattle conference in order to pick up the torch to do the '92 conference. And I went to at that conference early on, I went to the first Theater of the Oppressed forum theater event I'd ever seen. And some people, I don't even know who, I should get a hold of that conference program and find out who was doing that. But I remember when I saw the forum theater, I said, oh my gosh, I've read about this, but I didn't get it. And this is great. Although it's Theater of the Oppressed, it's not the theater of the depressed, as Auguste Boal would say. This is theater of great fun and engagement and critical thinking. It's of and for with the people. And so from that conference in '91, I went back to Omaha and I called Auguste Boal. I called him. I said, hi, Mr. Boal, you don't know me, but I would like you to come to the conference in Atlanta in 1992 and give workshops and do the keynote address. And so that moment of sort of going into an ATHE, session and seeing that forum theater, I mean, that was a transforming experience. Those challenges, those truly pedagogical experiences, as Paulo Freire would say, when you get to do at that moment, not just education, taking information, whatever, but critical thinking about who you are as a human being, that was very valuable for me, just really pivotal. So there's